So I don't know if you know the name Robbie Starbuck. He's a filmmaker. I know Matt Walsh rightfully gets a lot of credit for, exposing the pediatric transgender clinic in Nashville. But it was actually Robbie and his wife that exposed that, and Matt picked it up and ran with it and changed a lot of things. He has been exposing those companies that are all in on DEI and LGBTQ and everything else. He's exposed John Deere. What are the other companies that he's done? Big ones. I mean, Bud Light did one commercial with a transgender person, and they were almost destroyed. He now has exposed Harley Davidson. I just want to go over what Harley Davidson is doing. Harley Davidson is, as you know, one of the most beloved American brands out there. Harley and Indian, to me, are more American than Chevy and Ford. I mean, these are true American brands. And what he found is a complete sellout of, I think, their customers, and a complete sellout of common sense. They just sold common sense out. It's gone at Harley Davidson. Robbie is with us now to explain exactly what he found and what we can do about it. Robbie, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Glenn.
You bet. And thanks for all of your hard work on this. You've done some amazing things. So expose Harley Davidson. What did you find at Harley Davidson?
Well, it's pretty incredible when somebody came to me first with Harley being one of these woke companies after, we went through Tractor Supply and John Deere. I didn't believe it. I kind of had a hard time believing it because the Harley brand is like, this macho brand, and, everybody knows somebody who's got a Harley, and it's so diametrically opposed to who they are. So we kind of pulled the thread, and as we looked into it, lo and behold, in these sustainability reports, which usually reveal a lot about the company, we found that they had put 1,800 employees through these woke trainings, including one group of employees, specifically white males, they sent to a white male-only diversity training. And if you look at the company that does this, it's not like, trust me, it's not a favorable training. You get the worst training. You get the one that's, white people bad, white men have a specific, place to have to behave a certain way. It's explicitly racist in my opinion. But when you go further down the line, then they've got a plan to, what they call diversify their supply chain, which is really just, corporate speak for we want less white people. And if you think about that, just the idea is just so far and away from what the American dream is. It should be about merit and who are the best suppliers, who's providing the best stuff. How do you do all this? So if you force diversity in your supply chain, what's going to happen to safety? What's going to happen to all these other things? Because you've got this benchmark you want to reach. And so, all these arbitrary benchmarks pop up, but then there's also the pride stuff. They're funding events. They funded one pride event that was considered, quote, all ages, where they had what is described as a rage room in the marketing materials for people who need to let off steam, and that's right across from the area where drag queens interact with kids for the story time, and then a play catch with dad area for anybody who had daddy issues. And I'm not joking. That was actually those were the three things that were next to each other. Okay, so that's a sponsorship for events like that. It is so diametrically opposed to the values of Harley riders, and then they're also a platinum founding member of the Wisconsin LGBTQ+ Chamber of Commerce, which I would question why does there even need to be a Chamber of Commerce for what type of
I know.
I think that's pretty weird.
It's very weird. It's very weird.
There's a lot
they
more.
Also made February and March. They also made February and March months of inclusion. Because we need 3 months, not just Pride Month. I mean, the money they have donated now to the United Way, promoting, anti-racist baby, the Ibram Kendi thing. They have a Pride ride. Let's see. They have events at their corporate offices. Their legal department is, has is being celebrated for its racial equity and literacy challenges. I mean, it goes
That
on
one's insane,
and
by the
on
way.
and
that
on.
yeah. Yep. That permeates the legal industry, just so people know. Like, that 21-day training
Yeah.
is something that's happening, pretty much throughout most of legal America, if we could call them that. And it's one of the craziest trainings out of all of them. They're right up there with the United Way 21-day. They have the 21-day equity challenge. United for Equity is what they call it. Are some of the most explicit Marxist training programs you could possibly have, pushing, the BLM Marxist organization to, reparations, and people like, Ibram Kendi and Robin DiAngelo. You've got the whole list of like the furthest left activists for the not just Democratic Party, but honestly, I would argue, kind of modern day communism. And that's what they're pushing through these trainings.
Harley Davidson is a macho guy's bike, always been, and an American bike. And I don't see a lot of transgender business going Harley Davidson's way. What? I mean, I know one of my close friends that I work with owns a Harley, and he said, everybody in my bike club is just, their eyes are bleeding. They're so crazy about this because they just feel Harley Davidson has betrayed them.
You got stabbed in the back.
What is Harley Davidson's reply?
So there's no response yet, but, I would caution that, in the case of Tractor Supply, it took 3 weeks of us continuing with the story, not letting it go, releasing little bits of information every day for them to relent and turn back on everything. In the case of John Deere, it took a week for them to backtrack on a good portion of the stuff we had initially. And in Harley's case, I don't know if they can wait a week. I don't know if they can afford to. They've got Sturgis Rally, which, people don't know, it's the big biker rally, happens August 2nd. And Harley has a booth there. I don't think that, and they've got an event there actually too. I don't think that they want to, talk to all these bikers out there about this program and all of these donations and what they've allowed at the corporate offices and everything. I think they would probably like to clean this up before then. That would be my guess. If they don't, then they're dumber than I thought they were, because I think they're just trying to do this to please a certain element within the, sort of financial world that's pushed these CEI scores and everything. And it's not just, as much as I'd love to say it's BlackRock pushing this stuff, because I've got my issues with BlackRock and with Vanguard and State Street, on the more insidious thing, the real poison is, if the woke mind virus is a virus, it's carried by somebody, and it's carried by the HR people who have come out of these colleges totally indoctrinated into leftism. And so their job when they get inside there is, okay, spread the virus through the whole network. And so they'll use societal down points, societal pressure points, like what happened with George Floyd, as a way to put pressure on the higher ups, say, hey, we need to do this to respond effectively. We need to show our employees that we care, And so the higher ups, honestly, in many cases, just relent because they don't want to look racist. They don't want to look bigoted. At least that's how it used to be. Now a lot of those executives are looking for a way out. We have had executives reach out to us and beg us to go after their companies in the future because they want an excuse to get rid of CEI, which I think is so cowardly, because I'm like, just go backwards. We've got companies we really need to go after. But we have now, at this point, since we started this against Tractor Supply, over 1,000 whistleblowers. And so we're just trying to scale up the operation to work with all these people and go through all the documents and evidence that has been handed over to us so that we can look at, how have these great corporate American brands betrayed their customers and the values, especially the ones who depend on conservative America. Because if we can't save them, then we can't save our country.
So, Robbie, I really believe all of this started because of Occupy Wall Street. When you look, it was they were camping right in front of all the big financial firms, all of the banks, all of Wall Street, and corporate, and then all of a sudden it just kind of stopped and went away. And I am absolutely convinced a deal was struck at that point. Don't come after us. We'll help you. And It was right around that time that all of this money from these financial firms and from corporations started to go to these radicalized groups for the first time. And I think this was a deal cut by the banks and by the giant corporations. Just sick it on the American people. We'll be your ally. We'll help pay for it. And now they're destroying their own businesses.
You know, Glenn, there could be an element of that, and I wouldn't doubt it in the slightest. I almost think it's even more insidious than that because, I mean, the long march through the institutions, corporations are not exempt from that. And there has been an element of these,
Right.
you know, folks that I would say are really, really deeply committed to Marxism who they have embedded themselves in every segment of the American life. And
Yes,
I think that they've done a much better job at it than we have done as conservatives protecting our country. And that's really on, you know, we could go on and on about who's at fault for that, but it honestly doesn't matter. At this point, the people who are here now, like you and me and others, we need to be the line. You know, we're the line that says, okay, we're pushing back. We're not just defending, we're going on offense. And that's what we're doing here is like, we've got to go on offense and take back some of these institutions. And that's going to happen through elections. It's going to happen through, you know, getting Trump into office. It's going to happen through a lot of different ways. But you've got to go through each one of these institutions. And so I'm more concerned about those people embedded inside. How do you get rid of those people? The people who, even if you beat back DEI, if you don't get the whole department fired, are going to reinvent it in some other name. You know, that's the real virus at this point. Is like, how do you get that out of the company?
Robbie, I'm a big fan of what you do, and your wife, Landon. Make sure you say hi to her for us. Please let us know. We'll continue to watch, but please let us know how we can help. Thank you for exposing
Will do.
it.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate it.
You bet. Bye-bye. Robbie Starbuck. You can follow him on Twitter and follow the story. This one is a big one. I mean, John Deere was bad. Tractor Supply was worse. This one is crazy bad.